The dream is real. I gotta love those guys. We'll see what they can do, but like you said, the plane is in the air. Game number 1, day 1, match 1. This is groups A and B. My name's Toffees. Matchroom's next to me, and it's time to get into the action. Matt, I could not ask for a better plane to start this thing off.
Just directly through the middle, going in from the north down to the south. Pretty much everything is available for anybody that wants to go for it. See that what's making their push back over around Stolber. Keep in mind that there is wildcard that is right next to them. They have almost the exact same color, if not the exact same color. Then you add just a little bit to the west. That's going to be Eternity. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So we've got a lot of red in this lobby, Toffees, and see how this is all going to stack up. Surprise, surprise. Sonics going for directly in the middle of the map. Who would have guessed?
Sure, right? With great power comes great rewards. And if you watch any region anywhere in the world and you want to know instantaneously as a viewer, who is the team that everyone's worried about? Who is the team that they're scared of? It's the team that's dropping in Pachinki. It's the team that's dropping in Picado. What's that?
Georgia Pool. We've got, looks like we might have a little bit of vision that's going on back and forth between the two. TSM known to go into South George, so a little bit of a look back and forth. And I think there we go. We're finally going to see the breakaway as everybody's going to go north, but the circle says, screw that. I'm going all the way to the south, and we're getting a military base game to kick off.
It's open space, but it's not the kind of open space you want, right? Like, it's open and no one's in it because there's nowhere to go. So I'm curious to see how this goes. I think we'll see some teams sort of grab that I don't know, it's been a while now at this point, but sort of the new sandbags area. That's how long we've been casting this, Matt.
Look at SSG's positioning. They've got Keenan that's all the way over there in that front-facing position to BSO. Then they've got 2 to the east, and then 1 all the way to the south. They've got a lot of control over the circle at the time. TAC-8s, though, still just trying to make sure that they get a little bit more vengeance back on EP and see how EP plays this one out.
Be interesting to watch. I do love watching SSG sort of collapse and expansion. Sonic set up on the other side of the mountain. They've been slowly making their way down towards the circle. I will say this, Sonic's been playing circle chase since they crossed the bridge. Curious to see how that pans out for them. So obviously all eyes on them at all times. As we check back in with Tactical 8, who had been in a running war for what feels like about 15 minutes now, Matt.
I mean, they haven't lost any more members since that initial skirmish, whenever they had the 2 that were trying to go for the res. So TAC-8 still has a lot of control, but they have to make a large move. Keep in mind, to the south of this, we still have Dodge and TTG that are all posted up right along the edge of the zone. I feel like EP has a read on this and realizing that they need to go pretty quickly, and they're all just going to hop inside the car, try to send it away, and that's going to leave TA all by their lonesome, but they're going to go ahead and get a little bit of parting damage into it. Oldless goes down, and that was a big problem with it. No! EP, that is the wrong time to hit that tree right there. They've got a ton of trouble.
Man.
They're taking a lot of damage out of this, trying to get back into the car. Everything is going sideways, Rao. Literally the car taking down core stack's going to be able to get ahead. This is going to be so hard for ETR to try to figure out any way to make this work. Just look at all the different controlled firing lines right now that TSM has under. They've even got like throwables. You know TSM throwables, man. This is going to be very hard for ETR to do anything. Richie's just going to haul it right back behind this. It looks like Purdy and the rest of the crew are going to be able to get some control as T8 does go down. Circle is going to shift back over to the east, and yet again favor SSG.
Yeah, well, and I want to see what TSM does. You brought it up. They're the kings of throw. Whether it's throwables or games, they're good at it. I want to see them as they come into this, coming through. I mean, we saw them in day 1 at PGC, man. It was frustrating. I need more. And now the fact that they're annihilating Eternity, that they're in a good spot, that they're rotating clean, this is the TSM FTX I want to see on day 1, game 1.
I like the control position that we can see coming up from Sonics. They're running a little bit separated out and just trying to use a little bit of a ridge line right now. They do manage to take down Marsalek, and the way that that's set up with those gatehouses on opposite sides is going to make it a little bit more difficult. I think that there's only 2 members of ATC. Make that 1 up now as Marsalek does get flushed out. They still got to go again, though. They have just a stopover point, so they're going to have to get their way forward. Knightley is making a little bit of a press back into the position where we saw a wild card who's right along the edge of the zone as well. Knightley is going to have vision on the way the reposition is going to come from Sonics. I'm trying to harass right now, but it's going to be Penta coming up yet again. This boy sitting on 4 kills right now. Purdy gets knocked down. Greg Shot's doing a little bit of a dance around the outside of this one. Looks like Luke has a read on half through. Kind of bouncing through, and he looks a little bit of damage.
What?
There we go. Hands go down, and TSM should be able to recover.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank goodness for No Cap in that situation, right? Because he was definitely sandwiched. He was in a tough spot, had no information, and No Cap wiping Knightley let him know where they were. That was a big deal. What? H-Win?
I'm going to say that's Mime's fault. I think that he stepped in front of that shot. That's always what ends up happening.
And then
See,
Penta
everybody
domed
always
him.
wants to blame. Oh, no, but then H-Win goes down from
Yikes.
TSM. Oh, Sonics. That one's going to hurt a little bit. TSM, though, still holding down control of that oil derrick, but BSO in the thick of a fight back into the... Well, I say that. Never mind. They're stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
I just looked on the mini-map and saw it's bunker stuff. Don't worry,
Topsies, bottomsies, it is what it is. Cap and WC, though, the face-off is coming because WC's got to get in. SSG, though, holds that sort of for each shred of wheat. Northeast side where they are.
Let's see how this is going to play out. TSM in a strong position right now, but Wildcard realizing they've got to move forward. Minox, though, gets the first drop, and a follow-up's going to be coming out from Addit. Dre looking back, last one up for his squad, going up against No Cap, gonna get spotted out, and No Cap managing to walk away with 6 kills and now have a bit of control over this area.
Man, oh man, that circle is going to be absolutely brutal. TSM has a tall order, but I kind of like it, Matt. They've got the lockup and they've got the sort of external watch, right? You can make sure anybody rotating in or crashing is caught off guard by you. Maybe even leave them out there. Maybe they just lay in the grass, but we'll find out. Space Station Gaming getting involved.
Space Station Roth coming in, just deciding to make the play off of that one. Doesn't go down, takes a lot of, does manage to get a positional off of it. But do note that TSM could have a little bit of vision off to the side of it. And there we go, it's going to be TTG. He's going to go ahead and get the shot into him. Now Space Station Gaming has to reconsider yet again as it's going to be No Cap doing a little bit of harassment back behind it. But it looks like Sharpshot's going to have the read on what's going on as it's going to be Alo and Purdy that double up to take down Addit. Now just one member of No Cap to the south as Space Station Gaming says, all right, what are we going to try to do? It looks like they might be trying to rescue. And yeah, Civ is trying to defend the teammate, but he goes down. And now it is just Sharpshot who's got to try to figure out. Going to go for the res, but this is going to be hazardous. He goes down too. TSM, they have themselves a strong control point. And man, we know whenever TSM gets a strong control point late game, that's bad for a lot of other teams.
He went for the res, then he saw the bullet bounce off the pan. And before he could turn and get away, down he goes. SSG done. Let's take a look at who's left. We've got one member of Cap, TTG, BSO, and TSM, and I'm curious to see how BSO does coming out of this pit because TSM FTX, 11 kills, 6 on Penta, and now an elimination of No Cap. These guys are starting out with pure fire.
Well,
I'm going to call it
sometimes
TSM in the bag.
I mean, it's a pretty high likelihood right now. There is some weird world where both of these teams instead decide to focus on TSM. That doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Instead, there are a couple of vehicles. BSO looks like they might try to make the run out, but really it's that game of chicken. Which team is going to try to move first? I like that Train to Go is trying to use some geometry here, bounce it off the crates, bounce it off the boxes. But they've got the vision up on top. That is a ton of damage. Nice. One member already down. KKG, nowhere to go. Oh, spinning out a little bit while trying to get through the smokes and provide a little bit more cover. Reloads as well. So TTG now really caught up looking at TSM, but BSO is just going to gun it across. TSM is just looking straight into this and harassing every step of the way. Inta gets a vision onto another one. TTG takes down yet again, and so now it is just one member driving around BSO trying to find somewhere to go, and there are no options, and then there are 2 teams left. Ooh. TSM fortified up, and TTG, how you going to sneak your way through this one?
Good on you, BSO, for trying, but I'll tell you what, those cars started, the first knock happened, and TSM heard dinner bells ringing because dinner rolled up in front of them. They got a few extra points, and now Train to Go. I hope they trained for this because it's time to go across that street, but Alo is way low, and he is waiting for him.
Luke goes down to the zone right now due to lack of positioning coming through at the time. TTG is doing a good job of trying to control the territories as they move forward. With the smokes coming out, there is an opportunity to reposition around this. Karen was trying to do that, but TTG realizing the fact that they don't have too many more options, they at least have managed to neutralize it a little bit. But 15 freaking kills for TSM right now. Yeah. Halfway decent chance that it's going to be at least 7. Gator repositioning around, trying to use the smoke. Lost a teammate over here just a second ago, but looks like he manages to kind of creep his way through this one. And it's going to be a wall-to-wall battle right now, Toffees.
Absolutely. The Iron Man of PUBG putting in some serious work as they pop it off. Alo gets some nice little shots here. TTG is just counting on smoke and dreams as Purdy throws gets those throwables lined up. They know where the blue is. That means they know where TTG is. The first one down, and now it's just one left.
There we go. It's just like pool right now. They're just rolling him down into the pocket. Gator's trying to live, but it's going to be just a matter of time. And there we go. 17 kills for TSM to take the first round.
Respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn.